Hi everyone, it's Bert from Seasoned Gaming, and welcome to another Bitcast. We're at Bitcast 65, and I'm joined as usual with Ains and Dan. We got some fun news for you going with Witcher. We're going to have a review for you. Well, I'll actually review F1 2019, their favorite game, as they're listening to this now. But as usual, news hasn't really been that big these past couple weeks, so we're going to go through that, and hopefully you enjoy what we got to cover for you. So let's get it started. With San Diego Comic-Con currently going on, there has been a few gaming things that have come out, a lot of TV stuff and movie stuff that is in the movie and game industry. And one of the things that we've been most excited about this week has been the Witcher trailer. We finally got it. I believe this is the official trailer and not the teaser to the longer trailer, because this one was about 2.5, 3 minutes long. But we're super excited. I think Ains, Dan, all of us are massive Witcher fans. What do you guys think about this? I personally was blown away so far. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I think you can tell it's high budget, high production values. There are a lot of references to characters in the books, and that's what this adaptation really is about. So I loved it, and I especially loved right at the end the little tease they did, with the monster coming out of the swamp and him looking all basically potioned up and ready to fight. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. I am pumped. I think I watched it 4 times yesterday by the end of the night.
Damn. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, excuse me. I want to say bring it on, but I want to save that for later.
You got to save that. You only get it once.
I'm going to save
You got to rev it up.
Yeah, I gotta really build that up for later. Anyway, but yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm really pumped. I love The Witcher. I haven't read any of the books, so it's kind of nice going into it fresh and kind of seeing what they're going to do with it. The game obviously is one of the games of the generation for me anyway. I'm a little skeptical still about Henry. Or Harry, what's his name? Henry Cavill?
It's Henry.
I was right the first time. Superman. I
believe he goes with Henri. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not calling him that ever. So, a little bit skeptical, but you know what? I think he can pull it off. It looks really good. Like you said, a high production value. Everything looks pretty cool. I'd like to see some more monsters, but you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I really want to see it. When does it come out?
Just fall. They don't have a specific date yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know a few of the channels that are really popular on YouTube have kind of gone through the trailer and dissected it from piece by piece to see if they saw things that they didn't see the first time. They've looked at the background. We did get a good look at Geralt, obviously. We got a good look at Yennefer. We got a pretty decent look at Ciri and what she's going to look like. Is there anything you guys have seen now the second, third, fourth time that you've watched the trailer that you didn't watch the first time that you're even more excited about now? Or have you kind of seen everything you need to see from the trailer?
Yeah, I've seen everything I need to see. That was enough.
Yep.
Now just bring the show.
Exactly.
The full episodes. I'm ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
And one quick thing. Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, I agree. That's all I was saying.
Plus one.
So
Plus
one of the things that has been said about the story from the actual directing team and then overall is that it's not going to be adapted from the games. As we know, the games are a little further in the stories than the books are and things like that. So don't expect to see stuff that you may have seen in Witcher 3. As we know, Witcher 3 was probably the most successful of the series. Part 1 and Part 2 were more PC games. They did come to console. But as far as units sold and what have people touched and seen from the story, don't expect to see what happened in Witcher 3. This is going to be stuff that has happened way before that. So some of the things to keep in mind, if you have only played Witcher 3, you will not see that story. So can't mention that anymore. Hopefully, I was actually talking to Ains about this last night, but hopefully we'll see this get 3, 4, even 5 seasons, and eventually we'll get to some of that stuff. But it would be really cool just to kind of see where it started and where Geralt started before getting too far as a Witcher in general. So, really cool. Okay, so let's move over to another story that is not really related to Comic-Con, but it is related to the superhero world, and it's that Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4, Insomniac's Spider-Man, is now the highest-selling superhero game out of all the superhero games that have come out. The previous, I guess, mantle that was held by the Arkham games is Arkham City was number 1, and then you had Arkham Knight number 2, and they were pretty close. And so one of the interesting things here is those have been cross-platform, PC, everything. This Sony Spider-Man Insomniac game has been only Sony. So this is kind of a huge feat, massive success. Spider-Man's having a good few years here. So this is actually one of my favorite games from this generation. Dan, I know you loved it as well. What are your thoughts here? Are you super excited? I know you mentioned even starting a whole new playthrough. Is that what I remember hearing?
Yep, I'm still working on it. It's one of those ones where I can kind of bounce right back in and kind of just any time. Now I got to relearn the controls every single time, depending on how long I've been away from it.
It gets pretty complex with the combat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, this surprises me a little bit. Now, is it all the games combined, all the Arkham games combined, or is it just
a single title?
The single title.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Arkham City was the previous record holder there, Dan. So the second one from Rocksteady. Asylum did pretty well as well, but not as good as Arkham City. And then Arkham Knight's actually now number 3, but it was number 2.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's on multi-platforms.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been out for ever, so it's doesn't surprise me because Insomniac's got a very high pedigree. As far as those kind of games, Spider-Man is like Sunset Overdrive, whatever. But Spider-Man's all over the place right now. So they've got that mass. It's got that mass appeal. Everybody, the new movies come out. The MCU's probably got a huge part of that. The fact that it's been bundled with several other consoles. The fact that it's gone on sale.
Yep.
I don't know how many times. You can usually pick it up for $20. If you look hard enough. I mean, great. I'm hoping for a sequel. If this is what it takes, then fantastic.
Yeah, this is like a perfect storm, right? Because you had PlayStation 4 was doing extremely well. You had the Spider-Man movies were being rebooted, and they're kind of, you guys know better than me, obviously, but I've heard they're very good and people love them. You had just Spider-Man, as you said, Bert, has been very, very hot. So when you combine the best-selling console with a very popular superhero, if not, I think him and Batman are like the 1 and 2 top beloved, I don't know, superhero names. Combined with the movies coming out and combined with all the promotions you said, I mean, it's just a perfect storm for this game to sell extremely well. So, and it doesn't hurt that the game was very good too. So, there you go.
Yeah, and to your point, Ains, I mean, so Spider-Man was really hot late 90s, then it kind of died out with the poor movie releases, and then, funny enough, during that time, there had to have been 5 or 6 Spider-Man games that came out from anywhere dating back to the Dreamcast, to PlayStation 3, Xbox. I mean, there was just so many of them. Some were pretty good, some of them were really bad, so it's good to see that they've kind of now nailed down what the working formula is for a good Spider-Man. As Dan said, I'm just as excited for a sequel to this. There's rumors that Insomniac was working on a sequel the second this one released, and they are already working on new content for it. We'll probably see it on the PlayStation 5, obviously, but there's been nothing confirmed from Insomniac. It just seems like a moneymaker, and that's what they're going to do. So we'll see how that comes out. So pretty exciting there. Switching over to Nintendo, as if they are not another console maker / software developer that is riding really high right now. We did get a release date for Luigi's Mansion, and it kind of lands on probably the perfect day here. So we're looking at Halloween 2019. Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out. It was a big presence at E3. There were still no release dates. All we knew is that it was a 2019 release. I actually guessed it'd be somewhere around Christmas. Dead wrong again, as I was wrong with just about everything at E3. But good to see Halloween coming out. It is a day one purchase for me. I cannot wait for this one.
Yep. No, I'm right there with you. This is my most anticipated Nintendo IP. I know people are very excited over a bunch of games coming for the Switch this fall and into next year, but this is really the only one that I'm pumped for. As you said, it's a big presence at E3. It looks really good. Gameplay looks fun. Pretty cool that there's a multiplayer co-op mode. I hope that we're able to play that together somehow. I don't know how that's going to work, but
I'll send you my code.
Stop it. But no, this looks great. Really excited for it. I hope it's up to par.
Oh, it will be. Because it's Nintendo. that's all I really have to say about that. I know, it's one of those things where they had that promotion, not too long ago, where they had the vouchers. Spend $100 and you got, to choose 2 games. I still haven't used mine yet.
Nice.
So between this one, Astral Chain, a Pokemon that I'm probably going to buy and never play, maybe I'll play a little bit. I don't know, man. I mean, it's such a saturated time too. It's like so many games coming out.
That's the thing.
It's gonna be so hard for me to get to it, but I'm gonna get it. It's probably gonna be one of my vouchers. That and probably Astral Chain. I forget about the Dark Crystal coming out too. Damn you, Switch and Nintendo. You got too much stuff.
Wow. I didn't know you were a Dark Crystal day one buy. I didn't know that. That's good to hear.
I love the Dark Crystal.
he got real serious over here when you said that, Bert.
Yeah, get on my case.
His face got all straight. Can leave me alone.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like to Ains' point there, I'm pretty sure it's going to have some quality behind it. A lot of people love Luigi and Luigi's Mansion, the series in general. It was one of my favorite GameCube games, so I hope it's good. And it almost has to be. I can't see them ruining this one. So
No.
All right. Yeah, so sticking on Nintendo here, so kind of a weird ninja move here that was kind of pulled recently is there is a new Nintendo Switch coming out. Now, we're not talking about the Lite, and we're not talking about a Nintendo Switch Pro here. It's simply a new model / SKU. And the biggest difference here, and the way it kind of leaked out / was announced, was on the Nintendo website, where they were kind of listing the consoles that were coming out, and they did state this one. And the only difference here is the better battery life. So just for reference here, and I had to actually look this up because I forgot on how kind of silly it is, but the original Nintendo Switch, the basic one like we were talking about, gets between 2.5 to 6.5 hours of gameplay. Now that's kind of silly if you're flying somewhere, just if you're going coast to coast, or if you're going even where I am in Texas to California, there's a high chance the game you're playing will not make it to that destination before your battery runs out. Now the new Switch, that like I said, the new model, the new SKU number,
the Ninja,
yeah, the Ninja one has now increased from 2.5 to 6.5, now to 3.0 to 7.0. Oops, I messed that one up. Let me start over on that one. That is the Switch. That is the Switch Lite.
Oh,
the new one, that is the base one, is 4.5 to 9 hours. The Lite that we were talking about a second ago is 3.0 to 7.0, which kind of puts this new Switch in a weird place for people, because a lot of people were saying the Lite was the way to go because you just get that new awesome battery life, which was kind of silly to begin with, somewhere between 20 to 30%. But this one is actually getting a pretty decent gain in battery life. The Joy-Cons are the same, the screen's the same, the look of it's the same even. So you really have to pay close attention to the SKU that you're picking up. If you haven't looked at our site before, I have the screenshots and everything for you to show you what this new SKU looks like. It is coming out in North America in August and in European regions around September. So keep a lookout on this one. I'm not going to pick this one up personally. What about you guys?
Probably. No, here's my plan with that. Okay, so the Switch Lite comes out in September, right? So I'm probably going to pick one of those up just because I have to have it. The yellow looks cool. So I'm going to sell my Switch, my current Switch. I can probably get a couple $100 out of it if I find some sucker. And then I'll use that money to buy the new SKU, which should be the same price, right? It should be $300.
$299. Yeah.
Okay.
It is still $299. That's correct. But I bet you anything, we're going to see the old ones at $280-ish on eBay and everywhere else.
Yeah, but I'm still undercutting those guys by a bunch. So take that, suckers. I'm gonna sell that and just put $100 towards basically doubling my battery life on my Switch. The more I say that out loud, the worse it sounds. Now I'm reconsidering it.
Use I have a third-party battery pack, which gives me like 6 hours by itself.
This is true. So do I. That's the worst part of it. I've got the same thing. Yeah, I've got cords that I can plug in. Oh, damn it, Nintendo. Why do you do this to us? Me.
They got you, Dan.
They got you.
How about you, Ains?
The funniest... No, probably not. The funniest thing about this, though, is that, you know, the whole issue with the Joy-Cons, the thumbsticks on the Joy-Cons, is really becoming a big deal. Kotaku ran a big article about it, and now there's a class action lawsuit filed against Nintendo, and so I find it weird that of all the things they decided to update on the Switch is just to put a bigger, more efficient battery in it, but didn't touch the Joy-Cons at all, despite all the issues. But no, I'm not touching this. Come on now.
Yeah, and to the joystick conversation, Ains, I actually have some new joysticks on the way. So if you're one of the people that has watched a lot of our how-tos and fixing videos and stuff like that, I will put up a video on the joystick replacement. Cool. The joystick replacement is actually fairly easy. The shell replacement is a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I ordered those also, Bert. I've got some coming on Monday. So I will wait to put them together. I actually bought that SNES casing for not only the Joy-Cons and the Pro Controller and the actual Switch. So I'm going to go to town. We're going to see how that works. but I'm not recording any of this stuff. I'm going to leave that to you. So,
You may be just buying a new Switch just because you broke the one
that's
you're
exactly
on.
what I'm saying.
Why don't you record it and we'll just have two videos, how to and how not to?
Yes. Yeah. Watch as I throw my Switch across the room. This is how you break the Joy-Cons. Yep.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of funny because to get a new set of Joy-Cons, when you catch them on sale, they're about $60. The crazy thing is Joy-Cons are like $80 or $70 at standard MSRP. So that's really expensive. It's like a $20, $30 increase over the PlayStation and the Xbox controllers, which arguably have a little more tech in them. But, it is what it is. We love Nintendo stuff. We'll probably end up with a few of these. I have to replace my joysticks. If those fail, I'm going to have to buy a new joystick / Joy-Con. So we'll see where that goes. But that is the story on the new Switch SKU / model number coming out. If you need more information on it, please take a look at Season Gaming. We have the SKU number and everything there for you for more information. The box is supposed to look slightly different, but it's really easy to get confused here when you're looking at that.
That's the selling point then.
What?
The new box.
Yeah. It's a shiny new box.
Damn it.
You guys are only giving me more ammunition for my article I'm writing, by the way.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. Okay, another good story that came out this week is all three of us here have been pretty excited about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot that's coming out this fall. We finally got some firm gameplay that has been out to the public. There was some backdoor / backstage viewing that was shown at E3 that only certain people in the media were able to see. That was more touching on the campaign and how the story elements were pretty intense for a lot of people. We're finally seeing some multiplayer stuff, and the first thing that they've kind of released is around 3 to 5 minutes of one of their new gameplay modes called, I believe it's Gunfight. Is that right?
Yep.
Remembering that correctly? It actually looks pretty cool. It's a 2-on-2 match where you're playing pretty much with your buddy or a stranger, depending on how you're playing. And it's pretty much you get shot, you die, that's over, and it's left with your teammate and it's going. It actually looks pretty cool, pretty gritty from what we're all wanting out of Modern Warfare here. But I was super excited to see this. There's supposed to be full multiplayer kind of release of videos coming out next month, so look forward to that one as well.
Yeah. August 1st actually is the official reveal. For the full multiplayer suite from what they said. But yeah, Gunfight looks good. This video was neat. Showed a couple maps. The maps, did you watch it by chance? Because we were talking about...
I did not see that one.
Okay. So we were talking last week about the size of them. And they're pretty small, but they're not like comically small.
Right.
There are a lot of angles you can work, and it looks like you can use whatever weapon. But it looks really, really fun, man. I think this could be really neat. I don't really know what else to say about them. I'm really excited to play it. I like the 2-on-2 round-based thing. And Dan said he's ready to play with you, and I'm just going to watch the stream with a beer.
Yeah, that'll be, definitely a good gaming. Merry Christmas. I think the more options that you give us as gamers, in your game, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, just more modes.
Right, more modes like that. You see, like even the Gears 5 tests that came out. There's like 3 different ways, or they're going to have so many different ways to play it.
Gears said 10 modes.
10 modes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want. That's what
awesome.
you want to see. So, this is great for anybody that's a Call of Duty fan or multiplayer fan. I think it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, Gunfight has been said to be the favorite among the testers and development team that's currently working on the game right now. So if that's getting some play over there, I'm really excited to see what it does at home for people. So
you can definitely see it becoming like a pro league thing too. Like watching 2-on-2s in this, where it's round based and really tense, where one kill can make the whole difference in a match. I mean, there's a lot of potential for a mode like that. Yep.
So really cool to see that. Like I said, we're all excited for the new Modern Warfare. Hopefully they kind of go back to the roots and give us something new. It's gone kind of stale in the last few releases. So anyways, we were talking about Comic-Con before, and sticking to Comic-Con, or I should say coming back to it, the Marvel Avengers trailer that was at E3 that once again was only seen by media backstage is at Comic-Con this year, and that has leaked. So if you were kind of interested to see what the game looks like from a gameplay perspective, the original trailer that was released was more of just a CGI rendering of the characters shooting around, and I think Tony Stark talking to Thor and Hulk and all them, kind of showing the character release. The actual gameplay trailer has released. It looks pretty good. I think there's a lot of work that they need to do on it. They've already done some adjusting on the way Black Widow looks. There was some criticism as to what she was looking like at E3. They went and changed her face and her hair to look a little bit different. But now we get to see what the gameplay looks like. There's a lot of people that were concerned about the QuickTime events. Those are very much there. I think that's a concern for a lot of people, and it looks a lot like just a button masher. But the look of it, the graphics of it look pretty sweet. I'm somewhat impressed. I think it's at the status quo for me now. I need to see a lot more to get the hype going.
I'm ready to play it today. But, I'm a huge Marvel guy, so that's probably, the fan talking. But yeah, I understand where the concerns were. Seeing what we saw at A3 on that press conference, I was not super impressed. Especially for something, this is one of the ones that I was really, really looking forward to this E3, being that, big fan. But I've got Ultimate Alliance holding me over for now. It's a total fan service, so we'll see how this goes and see how it comes out. Still some concerns. I didn't even see what Black Widow's hair looks like now. Wow. I know it looked like it was super permed last time, but that was a little weird.
It's humid out there.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was San Fran.
There's a lot of before and afters, Dan. If you catch them on like Twitter or something, there you can see the differences. And for some reason, people really disliked the way she looked at E3. I personally didn't seem to care too much because she's not really a main character in the Avengers, anyways. But it seems like with the movies that have come out, all of a sudden they've made her like this main character. So I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Now I'm speaking purely from a non-Avengers fan viewpoint here, but I gotta say, I'm not impressed at all with this gameplay. I expected, as long as this game's been in development, from Crystal Dynamics, which is a really solid team with a lot of funding, I expected to be kind of blown away to where even if I didn't, like I've said before, I don't really care for the Avengers, but if it was cool gameplay and cool, footage, I'd be excited to check it out. I'm not excited at all at this point. I'm just not. I mean, the gameplay looks really generic. Button mashing, like you said, QuickTime events, I wasn't impressed. I was much more impressed with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 looking at it than Avengers. Now, that's not to say, we're 10 months away from release. They have plenty of time to polish the game up. And maybe just what they've shown hasn't been the best thing to show, so who knows. But as of right now, this moment, I'm not impressed at all. And remember, this comes out like 3 weeks after Cyberpunk, so you're not even talking to this. Is not even worth a discussion in my world.
So don't bring it on.
Turn it off.
Yeah, turn it off. Take it out. In the trash.
But no, in all seriousness, as long as we've been hearing about this game for years now, and Crystal Dynamics is a really, think of the games, Tomb Raider Reboot and Rise of the Tomb Raider are amazing games. What is going on here? I don't know. Yeah.
This is the game that they went to after Rise of the Tomb Raider that they've been focusing on since. So, it's kind of weird. It looks good. I'm not going to say
the graphics
it's a
look good
looking game, but it's just kind of a weird thing. I think it's got a lot of criticism. A lot of people are still excited for it just because Marvel is hot right now. But if it becomes just a button masher with QuickTime events with all that time of development, I just wonder if it's going to get any criticism that it deserves, because it should. But we'll see. It's a hard time right now to criticize anything without being called, something negative.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, though, if you think about the pressure for that team, with it, Avengers is like the biggest IP in like the world right now, especially from a comic book and movie standpoint, right? The pressure to develop a game that is up to expectations, which are going to be sky high. It's got to be tough.
Yep. All right, so that is releasing May 2020. So it's a good ways away, as Dane said. Danes said Danes.
You say Danes?
You guys know that guy?
It's a two-person podcast. We've assimilated.
As Ain said, it is a good ways away. So hopefully they get it together. They've already taken the criticism from Black Widow and fixed some things there. So maybe that's more things changing. Okay, we were talking about things at Comic-Con, and we're sticking with it here. So there has been a new Doom movie in development for, I believe, almost 2 years now. It was announced back in 2018, It is coming out October 1st, 2019. If you guys had no idea what this is, that there was even one in development, it is called Doom Annihilation. I vaguely remember this trailer teaser last year, and it hasn't even been on my radar or any care of it whatsoever. The funny thing, it is a direct-to-video release. It has not been funded by Netflix or Amazon Prime or any of those studios like that. It is its own studio being directed, I believe, by Universal, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who had the rights to it. But October 1st, you should see it on Blu-ray, DVD, and potentially Netflix, Amazon Prime, those streaming services, Hulu maybe, even in the future. But it is based on the reboot of the game franchise. We don't really know where in the timetable that is taking place in or anything. But take a look at the trailer. If you're not watching the actual YouTube Bitcast right now, we are showing it while we're talking about it. But if you want to see the actual trailer and then its full potential, take a look at it on YouTube or anywhere else.
Is it live action?
Dan and I are very lost on this one, to be honest, with the audience, because not only do I not remember ever hearing about this, but I haven't heard of that this week. I just missed this, apparently.
Yeah, it is technically the second release of a Doom live action trailer. If you remember the one with The Rock, gosh, was that 2006 or something?
Yeah, I remember that. I actually watched that, funny enough, pretty recently. It was the game that, remember they introduced like first person perspective?
That's right.
Yep.
But I don't know what the heck this is. It seems like a weird thing, because if it's unheard of for the most part. It's released direct to digital, so it's not going to be a huge budget big release, and yet their monster game is coming out a month after that. It seems like a weird thing.
I think people will watch it, maybe even buy it on Blu-ray or something just because the game coming out, but even that's kind of weird. It hasn't got that much press. There was some stuff at Comic-Con about it, but now we have a release date. I know you guys are going to be running to this one October 1st.
I'd watch it, but I don't know, I'm worried.
I mean, so it's basically going to be like Doom, but without The Rock, right? So, worse.
Yeah.
Or better,
it's funny
I don't know.
Because I think
your perspective.
I think the one with The Rock was based on Doom 3, if I'm not mistaken. It was kind of it's where the story was kind of from, and they were going to build into it and have sequels, but it did so poorly that they kind of killed it off then. And so now that the franchise has had a reboot with the most recent Doom game, and now Doom Eternal coming out, maybe this is supposed to, get some interest in it that I didn't have before. But who knows? As you guys were kind of surprised by it, I bet you a lot of the audience is surprised by it too. We'll see what this one does, if it does anything at all. I mean, it's a big old flop that never even lands. So anyway, depending on when you're listening to this, Gears had its tech test this past weekend. We have had our hands on it from the second that we had a chance to play it on Friday. Bit of a rough start, but now it's going pretty smooth for the most part. We've been kind of blown away from it. And with that, let's talk about a little bit of, first of all, your feedback and what you're playing. So, Ains, I'll start with you this time. What are your thoughts here on the Gears tech test? I've been pretty impressed with it so far.
Yeah, I've played a lot. So I played last night as we were talking and playing, and then I jumped on this morning for a while and played and unlocked all the the tester unlockables. They have some skins and a banner you can unlock, and really impressed with it. I won't go on here, but if you're a Gears multiplayer fan, the Gears has kind of a rough history in multiplayer. They've had some interesting things if you go all the way back to the beginning. This one is by far the smoothest I've played. The hit detection, the gun feel, the consistency, really solid. You never feel like, what the hell just happened, which is kind of a Gears thing. It's very consistent. It's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Super smooth. Everything's at 60 frames. I don't see any frame drops, any hiccups, anything that just looks out of place. I mean, it just plays extremely well. And the arcade mode is pretty cool. You have 5 characters on each side, 5 Cog, 5 Swarm. And they have unique weapons at starts, and you can purchase other weapons, and it's just a race to 50 like a traditional team deathmatch to get more newer players in. It's just all the damage and stuff is the same, but there's additional headshots, and just it's a faster paced game than normal Gears. So, like I said, I won't go on too long, but I've been very impressed by it. I'm going to continue to play it this weekend. Next weekend, it's open again. And then I may write up just a brief kind of preview article from someone's experience who has several hundred hours, if not more, in Gears multiplayer. But I've really enjoyed what I've played so far.
Yeah, and I'm completely the opposite. Not that I haven't enjoyed what I played.
Dan hates it.
No, I have very, very little time into Gears multiplayer, but I did play. I was only able to play the what is it? The boot camp.
Boot camp.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So I played the boot camp.
Perfect for people like you.
Excellent.
Bert and I were like, "Is this over yet?"
Yeah, I needed to play it like 3 more times, and then maybe I'll get everything. But gosh, it was gorgeous. I mean, it was just it's incredible. And this is just the tech test, you know. I mean, maybe they make it look even better. I don't even know that is possible. But from everything I've seen online, everything I've seen on Twitter, people posting about it and posting their videos and their screenshots, and they look like, I mean, people are really, really enjoying it.
They're digging it.
You know, so that's what's important. You know, it's another win for gamers. So I will definitely try to get into it a little bit more probably tomorrow, and maybe get some multiplayer in there and see what I can do, which isn't going to be much.
So if, the question for the three of us, or for the community, I guess, is really if this is this good, if the multiplayer is this good and this gorgeous, imagine what campaign, as long as the campaign's well written,
right?
It could be incredible. This could be, a really, I've been saying that Gears 5 is going to blow the doors off. I've been saying that for a long time, but it looks like we may be accurate on that.
Yeah, Gears 4 for me suffered from that, from the campaign side anyway. It kind of slogged for me a little bit. I don't know if it was just
a shame because it was 5 acts.
Right.
And the middle of Act 3 through the end was really good, but the Act 1 and 2 were just they kind of.
It took a little while to get going.
It took a while to get going, and people kind of just they didn't get brought into it.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm planning on having it done. I think I'm at 4.5-ish probably. Or Act 4, I think is where I'm at. So it's one of those games I keep kind of going back to, but it's just hard. I think it's just because it changed, when you go from Marcus's story, and then, it kind of changed a little bit where he's there, but I wasn't used to, I'm not a big Gears guy anyway, but, it was just different, and it just kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's still a good game. And, but this one really kind of got me just for boot camp. So, and a tech test. So I'm excited for it. And Game Pass Ultimate, get the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
And it's
all three of us play it September 6th.
What else are you playing, Dan? I know you're playing a lot of stuff, but what else are you playing?
Like right now, Ultimate Alliance on the Switch.
Nice.
Yeah. That's probably taking most of my time at the moment. I'm kind of jumping around, a little bit of Spider-Man, a little bit of... Actually, what I just started today was Uncharted 4. So that was a little bit crazy.
Oh, Lost Legacy, right? Yeah.
No, like the actual Uncharted 4 or whatever.
Thieves.
Oh, okay.
The Thieves, yeah.
For some reason, I thought you played that already. Sorry about that.
No.
What?
No.
Hold on, stop the presses here.
Whoa, we're going to stop everything.
Yeah.
I've only played Uncharted, the original.
Yeah.
Part of 2. I can't go back.
You can go back because 2 is the best one.
1 was so hard
to
get through.
1's a little dated.
Yes, 2 was what I played. It was all right.
2 is incredible.
So I just read the story. I was like, okay, I know where I'm caught up to 4. This is the one I want to play. So I started playing that again.
Here's the moment you get kicked off. All right.
I've been kicked off the show at least a dozen times already.
The moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How many episodes have you been on? It's been that many times.
Yeah, it's always a guess on whether or not I'll be back next week. So, but yeah,
it's always a guess.
So hold on, I won't harp on Uncharted. Go frickin' play them.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Ultimate Alliance.
Right.
So, have you built a good team yet?
According to you,
I've only been shown crap so far.
I mean, I don't even know why I take your opinion, because I don't even know if you know who the guys on the screen are.
I do. Okay. Not at a deep level, but I know who they are.
Okay.
So but in all seriousness, how is it?
It's actually really, really fun. But I mean, it's a little bit button mashy, and some of the controls are a little wonky, and the cameras, if you don't set it right, there's 2 different settings for it. It can be kind of frustrating, but I mean, it's total Marvel fan service, and it plays well for the most part. There's so many. It's a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's really. I mean, every character's got 4 different powers that you can level up. Those 4 different powers. They've got multiple outfits that you can unlock through different kinds of like side quests or like little different missions that have nothing to do with the main story. There's a lot. I'm
Good.
still kind of I'm still just scratching the surface, but so far it's been really good, and I have had a lot of fun playing it. Short of that, I've been playing that indie game Katana Zero, which, if you're a 2D platformer, side-scrolling,
Don't try and draw me into this.
dude, I've never played anything like it. It's a little $15 game on the Switch, on the PC, I think. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like you play through like these levels, and each level is sectioned off. You're like a little ninja guy, right? And you're
With a katana?
With a katana. You die in one hit. All right, everybody else dies in one hit, but you play through it, and then if you make it through it, that's what happened. Okay, like, but you're reliving the story, kind of. This is as much as I can tell you. You're kind of reliving, like, this is the story's already been played out. You're deciding how it actually goes, but you have to make it through each one of these levels, and you kind of replay it. I can't even explain it. It's so hard to explain. I think somebody described it once, like kind of like a Minority Report, where like
Okay.
like the precognitions
Okay.
and stuff. I think that's what I heard, and I guess that's kind of accurate. It's very unique. It's got some cool little music, and I haven't gotten too far into it, so I couldn't tell you 100%. But it's tough, but it's really fun, and it's a nice little $15 game. Definitely worth it.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. And Ains, you said you've had a very busy week, right? So you've only had a chance to touch the Gears tech test, right?
I've played Gears, yeah, and I talked about it. That's about it. I wish I had played something else, but no. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'll talk about what I'm playing, and then I will kind of segue into our review today. So I've been playing a bit of pub with not only you, Ains, but other people this week when they've had time, and the Gears tech test. I've also been fairly busy as well, so things have been kind of all over the place in gaming for me. But the focus outside of the social side of stuff is F1 2019. So let me tell you a little bit about F1 2019. So this is the yearly release that comes out from Codemasters. In my opinion, it is some of the best racing you can get in gaming right now. However, with that being said, it is getting a little bit maddening. And let me explain that. It seems like a yearly roster update where they touch one or two things in the engine, and that's all they do. They have added a new racing engine altogether in the game, and it's been kind of worked on for a couple of years, and you can definitely notice that when you're racing. The lighting is probably the best lighting I've seen in a racing game, because it definitely affects where you are on the track when you're racing. If there's like the grandstand, it actually shades part of the track, and when you go through there, it actually affects everything in the cockpit. And then you'll be on different parts of the track where it might be raining or it might be sunny, and you'll notice that as you go through. So in a lot of racing games, the weather affects the whole track, and you'll be somewhere and it'll start drizzling, and all of a sudden everything's raining, and it stays raining the whole time. Very different in F1, so that's really cool that they've added that. They've also added the F2 license to the F1 series, so you can play the F2 championship, and these are simply slower cars. It's kind of the stepping stone before you get into F1. I wouldn't say it's a bit of an afterthought, but the cars are there, the drivers are there, and you can race their cars in the way that they race them, and that's really fun. But in all the other F1s, they've had some historical cars that you can play as and play some historical battles, like Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna. You can kind of have their battle go on. It's pretty cool there. Where they have spent a bit more time on is the multiplayer aspect of things. You can now join leagues and play like a weekly Grand Prix against them, and you can do practice, you can do qualifying, you can do all that and race together. And then you have the typical multiplayer that is actually pretty good from a racing perspective. If I was to give it a rating, I'd put it somewhere between a 7.5 to 8.0. We really do just 7 or 8. So for me, it's somewhere in the middle. I'll make a full decision on where that goes. It's awesome. It's as good as it gets, but in my opinion, they need to do a lot more to improve their game versus the same thing with just a few updates throughout the year. And that's the biggest reason why I don't give it a 9 or a full 8.5 or something like that. But I've really enjoyed my experience with it. If you are into F1 racing, I definitely say check this out. If you're kind of on the fence and you've liked F1 2018, and because that is on Game Pass right now, and it is very discounted on PC and PlayStation 4 as well, you're okay with that, but you're missing out on some of the new engine and some of the new tracks that they added this year because of where the F1 season is going. So really enjoyed it. Give it a try. It's fantastic from Codemasters. So that's it for my review. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Dan. So he's hosting Name That Game this week. Let's see what we can do. I think.
Hold on.
Yeah, but I don't think that was ready. Let me ask you one question while he pulls that up, Bert, about F1.
Yeah, sure.
Because Dan and I don't play it, but for listeners, we get a lot of listeners overseas, and F1 is a huge, huge thing, of course. If you're new to the franchise, so say you've never played an F1 game before, how good is the game at introducing the mechanics and everything that's important to F1 racing and unique to F1 racing to a new player?
Yeah, so great question, and I was actually going to touch on this and I forgot, so thanks for adding that in there. But F1's a pretty deep sport. A lot of people think it's just a race and that's all that happens, but there is everything from your pitting team to upgrades that you do on your car throughout the season. You develop new parts that come to you throughout the season. There is a difficulty setting, and the difficulty setting ranges everywhere from very easy all the way to expert, and then even ultimate. And so that is one of the things that I think will affect everybody that plays this game. If you're a decent racer, your difficulty is going to be somewhere between hard and expert, and you have to kind of find that sweet spot as to what is the best racing for you. Because if you make it too easy, you destroy the AI, and the AI is not aggressive with you. They don't do stuff like blocking or try to draft you pretty aggressively. They simply just race on a track. If it's too hard, then the game's not fun because then the AI is just too hard. So I would say that it is very approachable for new people. There's also a ton of assists, just like the Forza and the Gran Turismo games that you can turn on, turn off. There's different settings in those assists, so everything from like a traction control where you will put just a little bit of traction versus a ton. You can tune all that to really turn into the game that you want it to be. So yeah, even for people that are seasoned racers, you still have to find where that sweet spot is for you to enjoy the game to the max. But yes, very approachable to new people, but also very good for veterans as well. Great question. Dan, did you have any questions?
Seasoned racers. I like that. I like that.
I like that. Yeah, I got a question. So
what's up?
Compared to say like a Forza or GT Sport, as far as like the simulation goes, is it more simulation or is it more maybe arcadey
it's not a
Horizon 4? Is that
Yeah, I will say it is not a full simulation. To have a full simulation with F1 is very difficult because your average, even professional race car driver cannot drive an F1 car. They're just a whole nother piece of technology. But it's as I said, you can tune it to become more simulator-like in the game. Or you can tune it to be very arcadey. But even the way you race in F1 is very different. So you rely a lot more on braking and aerodynamics, whereas cars like your typical Porsche or Ferrari or something, you really focus on getting a good corner, and that's really it in a straight line. Where this one, you literally don't gas it in the corner because aerodynamics are holding the car down so much. So it's a very different practice in racing, and I think people are going in thinking just what you said, Dan. They're thinking they're playing Horizon or Forza or Gran Turismo, and they can drive the cars the same way where you don't. It's a very different kind of racing style. So a lot of fun, something fun to do with friends. I really suggest it if you're into F1 at all. It's a great game.
And how's the, sorry, I'm taking this off track. How's the wheel?
Oh, yeah.
So the wheel is something that I have to do a lot of practice on. I've gotten so used to playing with the controller and moving the sticks a specific way to where you barely move them for the best steering. With the wheel, if you turn it too much, your car's spinning. The same with the gas pedal. If you give it way too much gas, your car is going to do a 360 in its place because of how much power the F1 cars have. I need to tune that in itself. So I was just talking about tuning difficulty. I need to tune my wheel experience. It works great, especially the force feedback, because you can feel the torque coming through the wheel the whole time. So it's a lot of fun with the wheel too. So I think we're ready for Name That Game. Dan, I believe you were hosting, like I mentioned earlier. I think we also said that the host gets first pick. Is that correct?
I think that's right.
Let's go with it. What you got, Dan?
Sure. All right. Well, based on last week's debacle,
I would shout out to Kel, who got it in 4 questions.
He only said
Good job,
gauntlet, Kel. So you didn't really get super.
No, he got it. We give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a long-time fan here.
Messed up. Anyway, all right. So who's got first guess?
Bert does.
All right, let's just get on with this stuff. I know you guys have played this game. First published in 1995 by Panasonic for the 3DO.
Oof. You're in my
Road
wheelhouse.
Rash.
Woo! Let's do this. I'm going to get this done quick.
Road Rash.
Yes. We're done. No, that's not it.
Panasonic for the 3DO in 95.
I really want somebody to hit like something like super early. What's the quickest one we've ever done? Like 3 questions?
Published by Panasonic, you said.
Published.
Oh, interesting.
Making makers of great TVs.
Let's go Desert Strike.
No.
It wasn't Desert Strike. That's not what I meant. Damn it.
Man.
That's not what I literally said the wrong game. That's not even on the 3DO.
I don't even know what that game is.
You don't know what Desert Strike?
No.
Can I correct my guess or do I have to wait?
You have to wait.
Damn
Screwed
it.
up. Look at it next.
Wait. Well, I mean, you have the next vest.
Yeah, you have the next
Oh,
one.
that's
so-
true. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. It was ported to the Sega Saturn and the PS1.
Yeah, I got it. I
Yeah.
would have got it on question 1. Damn it. Return Fire.
No.
Damn it. Never mind. I don't have it. I birded it. Sorry.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
Okay, so it came out in 1995.
Yeah,
It was
a year
published
later.
by Panasonic, and it was later
Ported to the
It later
Saturn
came to Sega Saturn and
/
PlayStation.
PS1 also.
So how about Need for Speed?
That's a good guess, but wrong. Actually, I don't even know if that's a good guess. Not really. All right, so next question or hint is most commonly referred to as an interactive adventure movie. Slow it down. Slow it down.
Oh.
I think Ains has got this.
No, I don't.
I think Bird has
Is
got
it Dungeon
this.
Lair?
What?
Dungeon's Lair? Or
Dungeon-
Dragon's Lair, sorry.
Dragon Slayer.
Sorry.
No.
No, I know what
Dragon's
you're talking
Lair.
about.
Good God, guys. Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair, yeah. 1,
Okay.
2, and 3, right?
Yeah.
They just released those. on
Not
the Xbox.
Slayer.
No, not
Lair.
Slayer. Lair.
Okay.
Yeah, with the goofy looking dude.
Yeah.
That's
I
what I
played that
said.
game.
That's
what I
Dirk.
said.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is.
Same's Dirk.
Okay, well, his name's Dirk. Well, you're wrong, regardless of what we're talking about.
Jesus.
So,
We're like
All right.
a two-person skit over here.
it's Gauntlet, Dark Legions. Dark Legions.
Oh, God.
3DO. The published by Panasonic's what's getting me.
Yeah, see, you're focusing way too much
I
on
know. But it was on
Ignore it.
Saturn, and it's live action, which was big at the time, and I can't remember anything right now.
I have another guess, but I don't know
Did I
what
say
it
live
is.
action? I didn't say live action.
You
It's
said...
an interactive adventure movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Maybe it is live action, though. I don't know.
That was a Sega CD title. That was. I don't have a better guess, so I'm just gonna say Night Trap.
Night Trap. No.
Yeah,
No.
that's all right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, this stars a digital actress that also starred in 2 other games.
Mm.
You said it stars a digital actress?
A
Is that
digital actress.
what you said? It's your guess, Delane.
I know. It's
The
annoying me
actress.
because I was just talking about 3DO with a guy on Twitter. I had a 3DO before I had my PS1, and I loved it. I played it all the time, and I had a bunch of games for it, and I'm going completely blank on interactive movies or interactive adventure.
This is a well-known game, right, Dan? This is not another one of those out of
No,
nowhere,
it's
right?
not. Listen, I played it, so it's pretty well known.
Oh my God.
Nothing outside of Need for Speed or Road Rash is well known on the 3DO.
Right. Listen, I was going to go with just Sonic. All right? I was just going to say it stars Sonic and then let you guys have 10 guesses each. That was going to be my only clue. You guys could have hit it or not. It was like 40 different games with Sonic in them.
I will say Space Ace.
No. That's just like
Space Ace.
Dragon's
It
Lair.
is, but it's a different game.
Yes, it's true.
All right, well, based on the clue so far, I have no idea, so I'm going to
Yes.
say Demolition Man.
Nice. No. All right, Bert, it's on you. This game has 2 sequels, though they are independent from each other in story. As in, they really aren't related whatsoever in story.
Well, how can they be sequels then?
Trust me.
Okay, all right.
Trust me.
So let me just clarify for Bert and I.
Yes.
They're numbered sequels, but the story doesn't connect. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Yes
jeez.
and no. How would I say that? I would
Okay.
say yes and
That's
no.
fine. That's fine.
How about Gladius?
Gladius. I'm trying to remember. Like all these games that you guys say, I try to remember, and that's not it at all. But
I mean, that's not even.
Right.
No.
No.
I can't laugh at Gladius because I literally have nothing, and I own this damn console with games, and I don't have a guess. I'm gonna say this is not it, but this is a good game on 3DO. If you have one that you should check out, is Quarantine.
That's a good game. I don't know what that game is. Never
It's probably
played
gonna
it.
be like Barbie's horseback riding or something.
Yeah. Well, I want to challenge you guys.
No, that's fine.
I know
That's good.
I know one of you guys have played this at least. Maybe.
Go ahead.
All right. Here's the fifth question. Answer. Hint. Whatever. Jeopardy. All right. This is just more of a. I thought this was interesting. I'm not sure it's going to help you at all. But Sony only manufactured around 30,000 units of this game for the North American release. While it sold over 1 million units in Japan, this caused the game's creator to publish the sequels on only Sega's platforms, the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast.
Oh boy.
Oof.
Interesting, right?
Oof.
Like, how does that happen?
No, that's real interesting, but I really liked my brain to pull the game out right now.
I'm trying to figure out how I own this game. I figured it would be worth like a lot of money right now.
You own it still?
No.
Oh.
No, if I did,
I'm gonna have a feeling I've never played this game once it finishes. But
I never played it.
Yeah, I had a 3DO and games for it, but this is not ringing any bells at all.
I think the 3DO is throwing you off too.
Well, now I'm thinking about Dreamcast. I'm thinking about PS1. I'm thinking about Saturn.
Mm.
I don't have a guess. I'm just gonna say Loaded, another good game, but
No.
Oh, Loaded.
No.
That's a good
you
one.
remember that one?
Yeah.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, top-down shooter like Smash 3.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah. Dan don't know what we're talking about, but
No clue.
That game was great.
No clue.
3DO, they were the publisher. God dang it, Dan.
It would be no fun if we got it on one or two.
I don't even have like a guess here.
no, I didn't either.
Mm.
I like I honestly like the challenge, but
It's
man.
not Gauntlet.
How about No, I got nothing. How about Lara Croft or something? I don't know.
Oof.
Original Tomb Raider.
Oof. No.
Lara Croft in Womb Raider.
Yeah, Womb Raider. That sounds super controversial. All right. Back to Bert. Due to the violent themes in this game, Kenji Eno developed part of the game in secret because he was worried about being censored. On his way
I got
to
it.
deliver the game to the States, he switched discs, knowing that it would bypass the censorship.
I think I have it. I'm not going to fully bird it here.
I got nothing. So I'm moving it over. I'm giving my
There it
guess
is.
to Ames.
He's throwing it at Ames. He's mopping it up.
I can picture it. I hope this is the title. Way of the Warrior.
No.
God damn it.
No.
Never mind. Don't got it.
You pulled
No,
a
got
Bert.
it.
You pulled a Bert
You did.
twice.
I know.
Twice in one
I
show.
pulled a chunk with the water. With the water.
Yeah.
bottle.
That's what it was.
Jesus.
Come on, our fans have that reference.
Whoa.
Come on.
All right.
Next clue.
Next clue. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the story
This
here.
is
in
my
this game.
guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You play as Laura Harris. Funny enough, also the digital actress's name, Laura. You receive a message that your father has gone on a killing spree and has barricaded himself in a hospital. The setting changes once you enter said hospital into a medieval castle.
I don't know what the hell a game this is, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
It does. This is an awesome game.
Man, this is tough.
It's gonna be a game I haven't played.
No, I think you played it.
It's just, the funny thing about this time, too, is I had a 3DO, had games for it, loved it, and the PS1 was just coming out in 95. It was the big rage in Japan, and it came over and I bought a PS1, too. And I had a Saturn, so I mean...
I played this on the PS1.
That's what I mean. I
Yeah.
had all of those systems. Like, I should be right here, and I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't even have a guess.
Bert.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got a pass. I'm passing as well. Let's wait. I'm ready for the next clue.
All right, good. This will maybe help you. There is no save system in this game, and you are unable to pause it. You cannot pause the game. It has to be finished in 2 hours.
Wow.
Jeez.
This game sounds awesome.
No save game.
You got me wanting to hunt down a copy. I don't even know what to look for.
There are only 40,000. 30,000, I said.
Have you looked at the value?
I still got nothing,
No,
Dan.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'm saying that it's a 2-hour game. That doesn't. I got nothing. That doesn't add to the clues.
I couldn't even do anything else.
You-
All right.
I can't remember the last time I named that game. I can't even come up with a guess.
Yeah,
That's right.
I got nothing.
That's right.
I
I'm
have
sorry,
nothing.
Bert. This is mostly just to shove it to Ains for his
Gauntlet,
stupid
Dark
Gauntlet.
Legacy. You know, the
No, I actually-
multi-million dollar
listen, when I say this
6-platform game.
When I say this game, you're gonna yeah. That's what
Multi-million copy is what I
multi-million
meant.
copy. I don't want to hear about it. All right. The title of the game. This is the last clue, boys.
What? Aren't we just on 5-2 ago?
No, we've gone through all these.
This is clue 10.
It's clue 10.
Oh my goodness. All right.
And we are buzzing right through this. That's what happens when you don't guess. All right. The title of this game is a reference to the most famous of vampires. And I will not put my phone down.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. That still doesn't help me on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is a reference to him.
Oh, right. It's literally.
All right, you can
I
stop
can't
there.
say
You
it.
can stop there.
We got a couple minutes to think this through.
I think it's Ains' guess.
It is
but
my guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
I really thought.
We're gonna say Dracula: The Vampire Tales.
Nice. You're not far off. You went way too far.
So I'm gonna go with Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No. Damn
Dang
it.
it.
That's my fault.
That's 2 in a row we didn't get.
Gosh, I suck.
Man, you're gonna
I
have
was
to change
really-
the name
I
to
was really hoping.
amateur gaming.
All right, the game was D. For the
Oh,
PlayStation 1.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, you played it?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. I mean, I didn't
never
finish
played that
it.
one.
I played it for
We only had
about
2
5
hours.
minutes.
See, that's the problem. Did you ever play it, Bird?
Hold on, you're getting on
I-
me for not playing D, and you didn't play Gauntlet.
I played
Come
Gauntlet
on
Legends.
now.
I played a Gauntlet. So there was D2,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there was also Enemy Zero, which was actually the sequel for it on the Sega Saturn. I didn't play that one.
Okay.
And then there was D2 for the Dreamcast.
Okay. Yep.
So-
Yep.
That's why I said
Well, and there was
it wasn't like sequential.
there was a
necessarily.
D on Xbox One.
I don't know. Oh yeah, there was a different D. Yeah. There's a lot of D's in this week's Name
All
That
right.
Game, boys. All right. Well, I'm sorry I made it too hard.
Another.
Another one that nobody has
another-
played with
another
me,
successful.
apparently, except for 5 minutes.
You realize Bert's gonna crush
I know
us
he's
next week.
gonna
though.
just we're getting
Yeah.
fucking something like Lidios.
Another successful game. Name that game where at the game no one even heard of it.
Really?
All right.
Well, D, I know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I vaguely remember the cover art. Vaguely,
Yeah,
it's
it's
got
a
like a
big
girl's
D.
face on it or something.
It's literally
the
a
guy
giant D.
the guy who makes the game is known for like incredibly bizarre.
Yeah, that's what it looks
games.
like. Yeah, he's super
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's D.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's a big D.
Well, that
on
was an
it.
incredibly bizarre name that game. But
Well, if you can
Okay.
go play it. I'm not sure how, since there's only 30,000 copies of the PS1. That's weird too.
All right.
It's crazy that they only made that many.
Yeah, it's
I don't
low.
know. Super low.
Anyway, sorry, Bert. Go ahead.
yeah. All right. Well, with that name that game, we're gonna go ahead and close out our Bitcast today. Let us know if you got anywhere on those guesses for name that game, because I'm still stumped. I have no idea what happened.
He still doesn't know the name of the game.
Yep. But we have I'm about to ruin name that game again. But we have BSG Backseat Gaming. We have a new episode out. If you haven't watched it yet, take a look at it. We're continuing to push through with Bloodstained. So Ains is playing. Dan and I are backseating that game. Anything you want to mention, Ains, Dan? Anything you guys have coming out?
No, backseat, and then I'm in the middle of writing a longer article again this time on Nintendo, talking about not only their successes with the Switch and their U-turn from the Wii U, but really some of their misses still in 2019, from the UI to their online infrastructure and some other things. So I'm
Cool.
hoping to get that out this week. We will see, but it's coming soon.
Yep.
Good.
And Dan, we'll probably hear more about your Joy-Con journey here in the near future.
Joy-Con
So-
journey. You gonna review Ultimate Alliance for us?
Yes, I am. I'm
There you
hoping to
go.
have that done this week, but I have no idea how long the game is, so we will see.
Cool.
I've been playing it pretty nonstop, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in for Bitcast 65. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll be talking to you next week. Have a good week.